Hi everybody, it's Rena. If you're afraid of the future or anything like that, don't watch this. Um, because it might be a little disturbing. It has been disturbing to me. I actually did put a video of one of my visions up. It's about the future of our future. And I did put one up and YouTube took it down because it was titled something about, I don't know what it, a vision or prediction. The fact checker took it down on YouTube, and it was an important vision. And I decided, no, I'm going to rename it something else. But if you're afraid of the future, or you're going to worry about it or get scared or something, just don't watch this. Um, Excuse me. I know it's been kind of raining. I think it's because it changes seasons. We're starting to get a little more spring around here. Anyway, I had a vision. I think it was just before when Putin. It's about Ukraine and the whole thing. It was about 2 months ago when Putin was first starting to threaten Ukraine. I think it was about that time. I had a vision, and I did post this, but like I said, they took it down. Um, it was about 2 months ago, and I had a vision that I was on a ship, and we were starting from North America, like way up near New Hampshire, and it was like a huge ship with wooden planks, and excuse me, and we were going down the coast, like towards Florida. It was like along the coast, and I knew I was on board. I was on the top deck or top tide. And I didn't really, there were a few other people milling around, but I knew we were just passing like Virginia, and we were like just coming into that port. And that was really the only place we could get off. And we were just getting to that point. And in the vision, I knew I sometimes I have a vision inside a vision. I saw ahead of us a tidal wave. And I knew the other people on the ship could not see it. And I saw it. And it was as high as the sky. It was like a light milky blue. And it like, I couldn't even see the sky. It was that high. And I kind of blinked out of it. And I thought, oh my God, it, it would like drown the ship. It would just take over the whole ship. And I knew we could have gotten off at Virginia, where Virginia was. It was only one exit, and we could have gotten off. But would we get off there? And I knew they wouldn't get off there. They wouldn't stop the ship. They suspected the tidal wave might come. The people were in charge of the ship. And then, like, I knew what was coming. I knew something really bad was coming. And then a small tidal wave hit, but I knew it wasn't the big one. And then it came up again. I could see the waves receding in front of the ship, and I knew it was going to be bad. And all of a sudden, I saw the wall of water again in front of the ship, and it came crashing down. And I thought, oh God, we're screwed. And everything went black, and I woke up, and I was thrilled to be out of that one. I knew something really bad was coming. And it was right at the time, like I said, when Putin was threatening the Ukraine. And I wasn't really sure. I just knew that it was bad. And if we didn't, I felt it was about our government. If we didn't change course and get rid of or get a different course going, we were heading for a disaster. So anyway, and I've always felt this because my visions don't lie, especially disaster visions. So the other like 2 weeks ago, I had a vision that I was in a house with a bunch of people, and there were our group and there was another group, and we weren't sure of the other group. We wanted to get out of the house in a group, and we considered the other group our enemy, and we thought they were going to prevent us from leaving the house. And so I decided that I was going to take them out one by one. I was going to do something about it. I'm kind of impulsive, but so I got like a knife or a letter opener or something, and I decided to take them out one by one. The weakest one would go first. And I've never stabbed anybody in a vision or a dream or anything before in my life. So I picked a girl, like a young girl. I was going to get her first. She was kind of on the corner of the people. And I went to her and I started stabbing her in the chest. And there was blood and she was damaged. And all of a sudden I realized that the group of people that we thought were evil and were weaker than we were. And they wanted our help now, that we were the stronger group. And they weren't going to keep us in the house because we were stronger than they were. And I looked at the girl and I thought, I'm sorry. And she was really badly wounded and she was blood all over the place. And I knew she would never recover. It wasn't like she was going to die, but I knew she would never recover from this. And the people that we thought were going to keep us in the house, going to keep us, capture us and try to, were now looking to us to protect them, to help them. And I was thinking, oh geez, well, that was just the whole the stabbing was just the way it goes. I was trying to protect our group and I stabbed her. And I took that to mean like you don't have to agree with me, but the people that have been governing us, if you've noticed, this was during the Canadians truckers strike too, the truckers, the people that in our government that are pushing us in certain directions were actually became the weaker ones and we became the stronger ones. And they were looking to us. They're not going to win. We're going to win. They look to us to like, oh God, what have we done? So we became the stronger ones. And in the meantime, I started stabbing away at the weakest member. And I think that's with our own government too. They're trying to push us around. So if you're a liberal, but this isn't about party. This is about being pushed around by the government. Okay, it's not just in our country. It's all over the place. So I stabbed her meant this person, and I believe it was Biden. I was just a symbol of being damaged. I think that this coincides with what's going on right now. That the party that's been pushing us around for a long time is going to become the subservient ones. They're going to be basically knocked off their pedestal. And the person I stabbed, I don't think Biden is going to survive the Ukraine thing, the whole disaster that he's caused, because this girl was mortally wounded. And since it was my vision, I just started stabbing. It was nothing personal. It was just, like reaction. Like it was just like, oh well, spoils of war. You know, um, this is what happened. This is what happens. Then a few days later, I had another vision that I was. I hope I don't get like the SS, the the Russian secret police after me on this one, but I had another vision that I was in a room and there was a small stage. A small stage always means the world stage in my visions. And Putin was there and I was in the room. and I was kind of behind him a little bit, and he had his all, in his suit, and he looked perfectly tidy and everything, and I knew he had to go. I knew he was a bad person. It was nothing personal, and I had a silver letter opener, and it had some sort of an emblem on the top of it, and I knew it was nothing personal, but he had to go because he was a bad person, and I didn't dislike him. It was just like he had to go. So he started to walk up on the stage, like the one step, and I was behind him. And I thought, I got to do it now because, he's got his back to me, and we're kind of on an angle. And he was kind of facing that way, and I was behind him. And I started in the back. And there was no blood or anything like that, but he kept like reaching around, like to find like what the heck happened, like who's stabbing me in the back. And I realized I had to finish him off because I couldn't let him live. There was just no way I couldn't let him live because he would turn around and, get me. So, um, I did. I, and then I came out of it before I finished the job, but he was just like, it was just us. It was a cream colored room. It was very fancy. There were curtains, exactly like it was like crystal clear vision. I knew he had to go, and it was nothing personal, but he had to go. So I just kept stabbing away. And he couldn't really turn around. He was just trying to get me, find out what was going on. So that was another one. He shows me that he's not going to win this. He's not going to win this Ukraine thing. He's going to be, somehow he's not going to win. And then last night I had another vision. And it was a similar dream revision to the tidal wave thing. Again, I came into a house, there were people in there. And I come in from a car, and it was like a wooden house, like the kind you'd have in a country, like a country house, like it was all made of wood. It was on stilts, I think, and it was in the forest. There were a lot of trees around, and it was pouring rain. And I went into the house. I was all wet, and I got into a room, and there was this big picture window in the front of the house, and there was also like a skylight where you could see. And there was a storm going on outside. It was just like unbelievable. I could see the dark clouds passing overhead, like black clouds, and it was pouring rain. And I was really, really worried because I didn't know how high the water was getting. And there were other people milling around, and I just kept looking out the window like, oh my God, when is this rain going to end? It was like pouring in buckets. And the dark clouds kept like ominously flow. They were coming from behind me, where I couldn't, like a strange direction. They were coming from a strange direction, something I wasn't, like they didn't come from the front, or they came from the back, which was kind of weird. And all of a sudden, I knew in my vision that I was having another vision, and I saw a blue tidal wave come out of nowhere, and I saw the tops of green evergreen trees in the forest. But it was a bluer tidal wave than the first tidal wave vision, and it came up almost to the tops of the trees, and I went and I closed my eyes, and it was gone. I knew I'd had a vision in the vision, and I went away from the window, and I was just sitting there. And I looked out the window again, and the sky started to clear a little bit, and there was some sun, and everybody was kind of relaxed and like, oh, well, it's over. And I had been crying, and I had tears. I knew I had tears in my eyes. My eyes were all like red from crying. And a couple of people came by me and said, why are you crying? What's the matter? And I was trying not to let on why I was crying, because I knew I'd had a vision, because this wasn't over. Something bad was coming, and it was coming. It just because it looked like it wasn't coming. The sky was starting to clear, the clouds, it was coming. And I woke up from that when I told my husband, and I said, "It's not. It's coming. It's still coming." And this is far from over. And I believe that there's going to be an attack made on the United States where I live, and possibly other countries from Russia or China. And it's going to be bad because we've never been attacked before. And I know that's what the visions meant. I believe that Biden and his administration will be finished after this Ukraine attack. That's what the stabbing of the girl meant. She was like really bad. She was mortally wounded from what I did to her. And the Democrats were the people, or the government that's in right now, were the people that we thought were trying to get us, who were actually trying to get us, but they turned to be into the weak ones. And we were in charge. And in the meantime, it didn't matter who did it, but this person that I chose was gone. No of you used to, well, they weren't dead, but they were just finished. And I believe that is the person that's in charge of our country, that the joke that's in charge of our country. The fact that I stabbed Putin in the back means something too. It means that he's not going to win this. He'll be maybe ostracized by the world, or what do they call it? There's some word they have for it. He won't win. Even if he takes the major city or whatever, he will not win in the end. And he wasn't, I didn't kill him in what I saw, but he won't win. And there is something bad coming. And I think we should all kind of be prepared. You don't have to believe my vision. It's my visions. My visions. I mean, but I know it. And like I said, they're just visions. They're mine. And I don't want you to be, scared or anything like that. And there's really nothing you can do. And so hopefully it won't be too bad. Um, we're probably not going to be the only ones. I don't know why Putin's on the attack, but I somehow feel everything is interconnected. All the countries are. It's not just Russia. It's everything's like interconnected. There's there's all this government stuff that governments are connected to other governments, and there were 8 biolabs in the Ukraine, United States biolabs that Russia bombed. I don't know if they got them all, but they knew where they were and they bombed them. Biolabs. Why are we having biolabs in the Ukraine? That's a fact. And there's another reason why this is going on right now. Besides that, Biden is weak, very, very weak, and our government is extremely weak. And Russia and took advantage of it. They have obviously had other reasons. And sanctions? Come on now. They're not afraid of sanctions. Everybody and Joe Biden's up there at the podium laughing. He's smiling about it. Like he thinks it's funny or something. It's not funny. Nobody finds it funny. Why is he laughing? Well, is he? And we know he's demented, but he shouldn't be laughing. This is not funny. What's wrong with him? Besides, he's demented and he shouldn't be in office. I believe this is the end of his administration. This is absolutely the end. And there's going to be somebody new coming in. There's going to be a new administration, and it won't be in November. It won't be 2024. It'll be before that because people have had it with this. Now we look weak to the world. We've been looking weak. Everything this man does is a disaster. And I think this is the end of it. I don't believe that he'll survive this. Not physically survive it, but I don't believe they'll survive it. And more Democrats are leaving Congress. They're retiring because I think even they've had enough. So anyway, that was my visions, and something bad is coming. And so stock up, you know, be prepared, pay attention. Don't have your head in the sand. Even if you're a liberal, do not have your head in the sand about this, please. There's nothing we can do about it. Um, Negotiations are not viable. I don't think there's going to be negotiations. It's not going to work. He knows what he's doing, and he wants to take over the whole Eastern Front, and that was actually where my mother came from, East Prussia, which is now part of Poland. It was a war gift in the Second World War, and it's a little bit around Lithuania and Latvia, and it used to be Germany, part of Germany, because Germany conquered it. It was actually a Baltic state, but now, he wants to take over everything. Anyway, just prepare yourselves. If you listen to this vision, it may look like it's getting better, but be prepared because something bad is coming. So take care of yourselves, and I love you, and I hope this doesn't get taken down because I'm making a copy of it. I'm keeping the copy on the camera in case they do take it down. I'll name it something else. I think we should be prepared. Unfortunately, we need to be prepared. Bye. I love you. Bye.